said, pressure can make diamonds or burst pipes. So it's like when you get smacked in the face, bro, that's pressure. Like, how do you respond to the most important thing to it? So that's mental toughness for you, bro. That you're able to take the L. Like, you ain't just punk about it, like, dang, man, we shouldn't have lost this, that, and the third. Like, no, because we did lose. Why? Like, so from there, it's just like, now you can actually get to an answer and like get to the next step to where it's like, all right, cool. Like you said, when we come back around, I know what's up. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the BeBall Jones podcast with the man, the myth, the legend, the defensive player of the year himself, Nelson Haskell. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good now, man. I had to vent and release some things before we got situated with the podcast, but I'm lovely now. Hopefully everything goes smoothly and accordingly to plan. But besides that, I'm doing great, man. I can't complain.
That's good, bro. I'm glad to hear that.
Oh man, the stuff it takes to run a podcast, man, it's a blessing. I cannot complain. But anyway, we will be switching things up a little bit for this episode. We're going to be doing a mini interview, is what I've chosen to call this one, because I can't think of anything better. And we're going to be talking to each other and asking each other certain questions about this certain concept or idea around pressure. Just getting a deeper dive into each other's perspective of us personally, but also us within our worlds of you as a player and me as a trainer and businessman. So just picking into each other's lives a little bit and seeing what is pressure to us and how we deal with it and cope with it and whatever else comes to mind. So yeah, actually you can start if you want to. It don't really matter to me.
Man, I thought it was an interview. You supposed to ask me a question, girl.
I mean, it's up to you how we start, bro. Like, I'll start it up. That don't matter.
Go ahead.
All right. So, for you, man, when it comes to pressure, like, do you feel pressure? Like, for you, what is pressure for you personally? Like, when it comes to pressure, because I know some people say pressure is not real, or pressure this, pressure that. But for you personally, like, as Nelson, the human being, not the player, but just Nelson, the human being, what is pressure to you?
I feel like pressure is difficult circumstances and situations. So like you said, not just basketball, but in life. If I'm put in a difficult situation, naturally there'll be pressure to come with that, like to figure it out or to make it out of that situation, to get the best outcome out of it, however to solve that problem. And it's varying like levels of pressure also. Like it's a varying levels of difficulty or whatever you might be in. So like I remember Damian Lillard was like, they asked him about how can he handle pressure or whatever. And he was like, there's no pressure out here. Like there's no pressure in basketball. Like the guy who don't know where his next meal coming from, that's real pressure. Yep. And he right to a certain degree, because that's like when we talking about in the grand scheme of things, making a shot in a basketball game is nowhere near pressure of life, of not knowing where your next meal coming from, or how you gonna pay a bill or something like that. And so that's what I mean when I say there's varying levels of pressure in every situation. So that's just a response to it. It's like, all right, or that not a response, but a side effect of whatever may be arising, like whatever kind of problem or situation or that may have come up in your life. That comes with pressure. So then it's up to you to decide how you handle that or how you respond to it. So let me flip it on you. So what do you call pressure? What do you think pressure is in your own words?
I was exactly say the exact same thing, like that Dame quote, to where it's like a lot of times we take pressure and make it such a big thing, especially when it comes to basketball and the game win. And it's like at the end of the day, man, we got to remember, like, this is a kid's game at the end of the day, bro. Like anything in and around this is a blessing, bro. It's not pressure. Like we put too much emphasis on this stuff when it's like it's not that deep. Like it is deep because it's people's livelihood and whatever. But at the end of the day, bro, it's a kids game. Like we're sitting here right now dissecting things in and around the kids game. Like not to belittle it because basketball is my life, bro. I love it, but we put too much emphasis to make pressure around this. You feel me? So I think pressure for the most part is I got to a point where I looked at pressure as a gift, not a curse. To where let's use an NBA analogy. So nobody's looking at the Rockets right now or the Pistons or certain teams or the Cavs look like you guys need to go win the championship right now. No, just go play basketball, bro. We seeing what you got. Now look at the Warriors a little bit. But you look at the Lakers and it's like, yo, where that ring at, bro? It's about that time. You feel me? But with that pressure comes a level of respect because what we're saying is you guys have meet a level of qualification to say, you guys, we're looking for a certain level of expectations out of you, which is a compliment. Basically what we're saying is Lakers, you're good. Rockets, you're trash. That's basically what we're saying. So that pressure is really more of a compliment rather than like a defeating thing. You feel me? Like Dame Lillard, we're saying you're a good enough player to where you should win a championship. It's not a bad thing that we're putting pressure on you, but that's a compliment saying, yo, you one of the top guards in the league, one of the best players in the game. The pressure that we have on you is to say, we expect this certain level of greatness from you. So I started looking pressure as a compliment rather than a negative thing. So it's not really a definition, but that's just how I see pressure now. Cause that takes the stress off of it and makes it more of a like, I don't say humbling thing, but more of like, it puts things in perspective for me to where it's like, it's the gift rather than the curse of it. So that's kind of how I see it. It's not a definition, but it's just how I see it.
I understand that. There is definitely in terms of sports, there is a certain level of respect that comes with pressure. Like you said, we're not putting pressure on the guys that like there's no expectations on. Yeah. But when there's expectations on you, that we have enough respect to expect something better out of you, or to like we respect you enough to expect great things. Therefore, there's a certain amount of pressure that comes with expectations. Yeah, expectations could be somewhere like the greatest pressure. Like a lot of guys don't realize that. Like everybody want to be good. Everybody want to be on good teams. Everybody want to be, everybody want to be with on the Lakers type team. Everybody want to be on the Steph Curry, KD Warriors type team. Everybody want to play for the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen Bulls type team where they feel like they're gonna be dominating. But you never know how much pressure comes with being on those teams where you expected to win until you own them. Yep. And so that's part of it. Like folks don't understand sometimes. Like, man, like it's not all just peaches and cream just because you're on a good team. Yeah. Like how we how folks do Russell Westbrook. People have been on Russell Westbrook for years. But he played for the Lakers and he played with LeBron James. Now it's like, oh man, Russ is the worst point guard in the league. Like there's a certain amount of, that ain't what we're getting on today, but there's a certain amount of pressure is what I'm saying. A certain amount of pressure that comes with being great or good. So that is somewhat of a compliment in a way, like you said. So it's good that you kind of found a positive way to spin it in your own mind.
Yeah, like that. Even more in a personal life too. It's like if you look at another man and it's like, I'm not trying to put anybody down, so I'm not going to name anything specific, but like you look at another man that you see and it's like, you don't see much going for him. You don't expect much from him. So he doesn't have that level of pressure. But somebody who has potential, you look at him and like, oh, he has a bright future, man. Let's see where he can go to. So now it's like, man, you expect so much from them. And sometimes that pressure can get to people and it's like, yo, y'all expecting me to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, whatever. But at the same time, you have to manage that by looking at how you are and what you expect from yourself. So I might be getting ahead with your questions. I don't know, but like that's just how you can gauge the pressure and like I said, to make it more real life situation where it's like you might look at a teammate and it's like, bro, you ain't got the pressure I feel to do this role. That's not your role. So you don't feel pressure here. Like, what you worry about rebounding for, man? It's like, I don't care about rebounding. That's not your role. That's not what you do. As the man of my family, this is the pressure that I feel to, I got to provide for my family. I'm a single dude. I ain't got no kids, so it's like I'm worried about me compared to my dad. He got to worry about the family. Like that's two different types of pressure that I cannot compare. It's more pressure on him because he has more people looking up to him, but there's more responsibility and more expectations put on him because of where he is. So that pressure on him is more of a thing to where like you can expect him to take care of us because of where the way we see him. So it's not like a negative thing to put all this pressure on my dad. If something happened to the family, we automatically like, yo, dad, what's up? Like, ain't nobody looking at me. Brian, what's up? What my dad say? Did he say something? Like,
Hey, that's real, but
like for real. So it's like same thing in basketball, bro. Like something happened. We ain't looking at dude on the bench. Like, what we looking at you for? Hey Nelson, what up? What's up with this defensive end? We need to stop. We looking at you. Like, what's up, bro? Like,
but Brian, that's facts though. Like
you
it
feel me?
really be like that. Man, so not to get ahead of ourselves, but like this kind of pertains to what you're saying. So we have 5 goals every game. Like I coach writing them down on the board, everything. There's 5 goals we need to accomplish in every game. And if we accomplish all 5, you almost guarantee to win. Like very rarely will you ever get all 5 goals and lose. Have 10 or less turnovers, rebounding battle, so as in get more rebounds than the other team. Uh Dang, why can't I remember right now? Win the rebounding war, less than 10 turnovers, shoot 70% or more from the free throw line. Get 5 or more kills. Is it just 4 of them? I'm quite sure. 11, 22, 33, 17. I'm missing something. Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, but one of the goals is to get 5 or more kills. Kill is 3 stops in a row. If we cause a missed shot or a turnover and get the rebound, or a missed shot and get the rebound, or force a turnover 3 times in a row, that's 1 kill. So we need 5 of them in the game. So whenever we get 2 stops in a row, my assistant coach Carl keeps up with it. When we get 2 stops in a row, he'll call my name. He'll say, Nelson, this is for a kill from the sideline. Telling me because I'm like the defensive anchor. So that's supposed to like alert me, like, all right, we need this stop. Yeah. Like, so it's like, Nelson, this for a kill. So that's supposed to like, I'm like high alert. I'm like, okay, we need to kill. So I'm on it. So like I'm pointing, I'm telling people where to go, I'm telling guys where to go and what to do. And we get to stop, like guys hype up, you know, they clapping, stuff like that on the sideline. It's very important. So like that's pressure on me in a way. Like even though this is one possession, trust me to be like, he telling me, he ain't saying 18, this is for a kill. He's like, Nelson, this is for a kill. So make sure we get it. Yeah. And then sometimes he does that, and somebody just get, you play college basketball, somebody might just get bop, 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 pull a little over the top. We play a good defense shot and just went in. You know what I'm saying? So ain't much I can do about that as even though I'm the defensive anchor. But ain't nothing like when he say, hey, Nelson, this for a kill, and we play great defense and get a steal or force a turnover, something like that. That's big for the team. So I take a lot of pride in that, knowing that, he put that responsibility on me. That just when you just reminded me of that as you were talking, like, hey Dad, what's up? Like what my dad say? That's me. Like, hey Nelson, what's up? Like we need to kill. Like it's on you. Yeah. 5 guys out here. Hey, no, you. Like.
Yep.
Well, we gonna get this stop. So that's one of the small pressures of my game, or a part of what I do for the team. So that just something I want. That's just something you reminded me of in the time. But moving on in our discussion, man. So my first question to you is, what do you think is like puts the most pressure on you as a trainer when it comes to training kids? Like, what is one situation or scenario that you feel that you've already been in, I guess, that you feel put the most pressure on you as that kid's trainer or whatever?
The situations that I felt the most pressure, I have to say, working with higher level players, like really good college players. Like I had the opportunity to work with a handful of D1 players, D1 girls, a guy from D2, and that was probably the most. Like I don't, they didn't give me pressure, but I think the pressure I put on myself was what got me there. Just because it's like, oh, okay, this is like for real players. Like you can't be like, I know what I'm talking about, but you gotta know that you know what you're talking about with them. Because it's like if I came to you
they'll
half
know.
exactly, so I can't come up here and be like, oh, we gonna come here and I think we're gonna like, you got time for that, bro? Hey, we doing this, that, and the third. That could be wrong, but it's like, oh, you're kind of confident. Like, all right, you
I'm
know,
gonna believe in them.
yeah. So it's like I put that pressure on myself to perform and be prepared to a certain extent to where when I'm with them, they're getting benefit. And as I've grown since then, it's like I've learned to want to simplify the game to where it's like it makes sense. To where it's like I'm so used to training kids, and it's like so much fundamentals and basic stuff that they need to learn. Of course, you need to go advanced and stuff so they can actually develop. But like to a certain extent, I got all the fundamentals or most of the fundamentals I need to have. Like that's why I'm playing D1 and D2. Like what's next? You feel me? So it's like that was a pressure situation, and the two ways I could say I dealt with it was really just like embracing it. Like I take this challenge and just run with it and see what happens, or I can run away from it and never really know. So that's kind of one way I took it. And the second end of it was just being open. Like I didn't try to come off as a know-it-all, come off like I fully understood. I stayed within the comfort zone of what I knew and how to get you better. Like I really nitpicked on certain stuff to where it wasn't nitpicking to make it seem like I knew what I was talking about, but I actually did nitpick to where I knew what I was talking about. So we could have a legit comfortable conversation to where I'm confident in knowing what I'm talking about here. Like, and I feel very fine with that. So I found a lane and comfort zone with them to where it's like, okay, boom, I got your trust and we can ride this direction. To where now the other 5 things I might not know about, we good because I know how I am. I'm going to learn anyway. So that's just kind of how I took it. Like I just embraced the challenge of it and just tackled what I did know to where it's like that opened up the avenue to where I could go more directions with you. So yeah, that's probably the most pressure situation I've probably had in my opinion. Yeah. Hope that answered your question.
No, it did. There is a certain amount of pressure. I never thought about it from the trainer's perspective, but I'm sure there is a certain amount of pressure when working with higher level players, especially with you who normally would be working with kids or like just lower level players, middle school, maybe high school, whatever. So that's kind of I can understand how like going from that to working with like a D1 player who obviously has been through a lot of training sessions. Like probably is a lot of pressure that comes with that. So I definitely get that.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I'm still cool with most of them to this day. And, you know, they ain't ever, I'm pretty sure they want to be like, oh, you suck to my face. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's a level of respect I feel like they do have for me. So if I did suck, I don't know. They didn't tell me, but they kept coming back a few times. So, I mean,
if they came back multiple times, that's enough. They'll let you know.
Yeah. So that's all I needed. You feel me? So I took that as my thing. And I'm still cool with some of them to this day. Like we speak every once in a while and, you know, we got a respectable relationship. So I just took it as I did my job. So now my question for you is kind of piggybacking off of that kills. When it comes down to, let's say, how do you bounce back from the failed pressure? So, you know, you got the 2 kills and it's like, how do you feel if you keep failing with that next level? So you got the 2 stops, you keep failing to get that third one. Like, how do you recover from that to where it's like, okay, I got the 2. What are we doing to not get that kill? Like we just 1, 2, the third stop, we can't get there. Okay, we got 1, 2, third stop. So how do you recover from that? And like, do you feel more pressure from that rather than like a normal play? Like you said, it amps up some. So I'm pretty sure that feels different than normal play. But like, how do you recover from not getting that kill. Because like you said, it's 1 stop, 2 stops. Most teams probably be happy for that. But in your mind, you train to be like, get that third one. So how do you recover from when you don't get that third one?
Well, a lot of times when we don't get the third, like if it's a consistent thing, like we can't get the third stop, because you know what, obviously these games where we don't get all 5 kills or whatever. But if I feel like it's a consistent thing where we're not getting all our kills, a lot of times the coach will tell us in the timeout, like, "Hey man, we only got 1 kill right now. Like if we want to win this game, we need more kills. We need to create stops. All this yada yada." So that's big, you know what I'm saying? So when I feel like it's a consistent thing, I normally try to make an adjustment, like team wise, not just myself, because not trying to brag nothing, but very rarely is like, am I the one getting scored on consistently? When I am, I know what I need to do. But when the team is getting scored on, we're not creating stops. I try to make an adjustment. I say, hey, or even if it's not just telling somebody else to do something out the gate, I might go to coach and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? I think we need to do this with so and so. Like they respect me enough to listen to my input as a player, especially on the defensive end. They know I wouldn't just be saying nothing for no reason. So that there's a level of respect they have for me in that aspect. So that's usually what I go to. If I feel like we've been scored on too much, and a lot of times that happens. Like we're not just a super great defensive team. Like sometimes, like if teams play a certain way that doesn't every team has a certain way that like they don't like to guard or they're not good at defending, whatever. Like that might be like they kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? And so when teams play in that style, I ain't gonna say it on here because I mean by the time they see this, the season gonna be good and going. But anyway, I still don't even want to say it. Just I might be playing next year. But if the team is playing in a way that like we're not very good at guarding, a lot of times I see who the better players are, and I'll be like, all right, so look, this is what we're gonna do about him. Like, hey, when he does this, because I'm good about remembering their plays and their sets. So I'm like, okay, when he does this, me and you will switch. Or next time I'm gonna do this, send them back to you, make sure you're ready, all this yada yada. Like he will not be the one to beat us. That's the type of person I am. All right, he hitting shots. Next time he do this, y'all switch him. Or shoot, not to be the dirty person, but next time he come through here, just give him one of these. Like just hit him, bump him. Something. Those guys off their rhythm. And so that's the type of guy I am when it comes to like not getting our kills. I'm like, all right, we gotta make a change. Like, or even if the change is just slight, like, all right, when we switch, I need you to take a step up. If he backdoor you, I'm right here. So don't worry about getting backdoor. We still gonna steal that pass. Just make sure this not an easy catch for him. Like, make things difficult for guys. So that's usually my go-to when it comes to not getting kills or not getting the third kill. Because if you can't get 3 stops in a row, then they obviously have something they can go to if they're scoring every 3 plays. So they have something that's working for them. Whether that be one player just hot that night or a certain play or anything, they have something going for them. So you need to make an adjustment to that something and make sure they can't just keep going to it the rest of the game. So that's usually that's usually my job is to make that adjustment, see that. And like I'm the type of person that I'm looking at it. I take pride in this, so I'm not gonna keep letting us get scored on every play. So I'm gonna be the one to be like, hey, they keep going this way, they keep going to this. Make sure we do this next time. So that's pretty much it to it. Like just make that adjustment to whatever the offense is running consistently, and we should be good.
So do you feel like it's a different level of pressure between that or stopping a run? Like, do you feel like is the pressure different for you? Like, do you feel different when it's like, all right, we got that kill, we got to get this kill? Like, because that, you know what I mean? Like, that kill means a lot. Like you said before, if you get all 5 things done for your team, including that kill, more likely you're going to win. So do you feel more pressure to get that third stop for the kill? Or do you feel more pressure to stop a run that's going? So you like, they're on an 8-0 run right now. All right, we got to get stopped right now. Like, do you feel more pressure on one or the other, or is it just like you don't care, you want to get stopped regardless?
So I usually feel more pressure with the stops because basketball is a game of runs. Like I feel more pressure with stopping the run. I mean, say because like with the kills, like you. So in the situation you gave me, like they say, hey, this for a kill, and we don't get the third stop, but we still got 2 stops in a row. So if we did score in those plays, we win in that situation. But if a team is going on a run, basketball is a game of run. So if they're going to run, that's how they win the game. We got to make sure this run don't last long, and then make sure we go on a run of our own. So we need those stops. Like you don't go on runs without stops. So, that I definitely say I feel more pressure with the stops stopping that run, because when the run is going, and then you know how teams are, like especially guys that are scorers. When guys get on runs, they be like, "Oh, we need to get a bucket." No, we need to stop. We need to stop them from scoring. Stopping them from scoring will give us more opportunity. And so, but that's just how my mind works. Like we a lot of us think differently. I have a defensive mindset. So when the team go on an 8-0 run, 10-0 run, I'm that guy like, hey, sit down right here. We need to stop. That guy.
Yeah.
I definitely would say I feel more pressure to stop that run, because runs is how you win games. Like we can't, if they do, the team's gonna go on runs, like I said, but we got to make sure this run don't last long, or we're gonna be in trouble. That takes precedence over getting the third stop after you already got two.
That makes sense, because like you said, it's a game of runs, and like if you're not able to stop that run, like he keeps going back and forth, like it's gonna be a shootout, but it's gonna come down to who gets that first stop. Because if I can stop you and we score, we keep our run going, that means a lot more than the kill. Because like you said, the kill's been like, 2 plays. We already got 2 wins by getting 2 stops. The third one's just like the icing on the cake to get. It's a personal thing for y'all. Like other teams don't really know about that. They might, but it's not that irrelevant. I mean, not that relevant. Versus the 10-0 run stopped it. Okay, woo, finally. Because then that stop takes away some of the pressure from your offense to where you don't have to score. So it's like, okay, we got to stop. Oof. Okay, we can score. If we don't score, it's not as bad because we finally stopped their run. You know what I mean? So right. I feel you when you come with that, man. So that makes sense.
Okay. So my next question to you is, you feel a lot of pressure on yourself when you're training a kid and they don't seem to be improving, or at least not improving right away? If you're training a kid that's, let's say, a high schooler, and he or she is not improving as fast as they like, or you would like, you feel pressure on yourself when that happens?
Yes and no, because I'm the type of person where I always look in the mirror first. Like I see what I can do better, but at the same time, I'm not in a position to where I'm like with that person every single day. You feel me? So if at the same time, I put the onus back on the player, because this is you, your career, you're playing, this is your minutes, to where I'm doing what I can do to make sure you're getting better, but you have to take responsibility for your game too. So it's like, it's more of a 50-50 thing. So it's like, if I'm training you and I'm like, yo, we agree that the goal is to get better. Let's say we're working on your shot. So we agree working on shooting, right? Okay, cool. How many shots have you got up? We're not including the game, not including the practice, not including your training session with me. Outside of that, how many shots have you got up? So that part right there is what you have control of. I control the sessions. I can't control the practice. So it's like, it's really, if you're not getting better at some point, it's like, I am looking at the mirror first to be like, hey, what can I do? What can I do mentally to get them triggered to get better? What can I do within the session to make sure to get better? But at the end of the day, if you're not doing a little bit that you can do to get better, then that takes everything off of my hands, because there's only so much I can do. And I try to put it in perspective to where they understand that it's not on me. I'm not Superman. I'm not here to save you and rescue you today. Like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to guide you a little bit. Like, so if you're not getting better, yeah, I'm gonna take some of the heat because that's my job. That's what you're paying me for. But at the end of the day, it's all about you. Like, because when you do get better, I'm not taking credit for that. Like, yo, you put in the work. I'm not the one getting up shots. I'm not the one going through practice. I'm not the one actually in the game playing. So I can't take all the credit for your good and then take all the blame for your bad. You know what I mean? Like, within the leadership, I will take the blame for it because that's how I am. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and just like let you be the scapegoat, or let me be the scapegoat and you feel like you got off scot clean. Like, it's a balance I try to find between it, to where it's like you realize that it's all on you, good and bad. So if you get better, then you did your job. Like, you did your thing. You put in work. Proud of you, man. Keep going. You're not getting better. Hey, what's like now? I'll break things down to where it's like, okay, what have you done? Like, I had a young lady I was training, and we were going good and hard. We probably did twice a week for a while. She got a lot better. Like, she was skyrocketing. And then she took a few weeks off from me, maybe about a month off from me, and game went downhill for me. I was like, yo, what's up? Like, you got so much better. Like, we working on left hand. She got left hand down pretty decent. Jump shot form was looking solid. We grew a lot within that time frame. And then she just backpedaled super hard. And I'm just like, yo, what happened? Like, part of me was frustrated because it's like, bro, we worked so hard to get here for you to backpedal so hard. Like, you basically started back over from the beginning. And so I was like, yo, like, what have you been doing? And like, she played other sports and stuff. So it's just like, and then that was around the time with COVID and stuff. So it's like, I couldn't be as frustrated. So I'll try to put in perspective to where they realize that you have responsibility. It doesn't matter what I teach you, what I show you, what I talk to you about, because at the end of the day, it's on you, you know? So I do feel some level of pressure to make sure y'all getting better, but at the same time, it's on you because I'm not hooping. I'm not going out there in the games. I'm not doing none of that stuff. So I will look at myself in the mirror first and foremost to make sure I'm teaching you right and I'm giving you the mindset to at least make you aware of the direction you're trying to get to. But the bottom line is, you're not performing. The coach ain't looking at me. You're the one not playing. I'm going to be okay. You know, like, my goal is to get you playing, but you're the one that's going to be more frustrated than I am. You feel me? Like, that sounds bad, but it's the truth, because it's like,
no, you're right though. I've been the player. Yeah. So.
You feel me? So it's like, if you're not performing at the end of the day, but I have other players that are performing, there's something that's not adding up here. You know, so you can't blame me 100%. I'll take half. I will easily take half. But you're not going to give me the full 100. The other 50 has to go on you. So I don't really feel as much pressure with that, because once I lay everything out and we come to an agreement, half the pressure falls back on the player. So I don't feel as much pressure with that, just because, like I said, either A, I'm already aware of my own expectations with this player, and B, I make sure they understand, like, mentally what it takes to get to where you want to get to, or that's not realistic what you're trying to get to. Like, you're not going to play basketball your first year and start varsity. Like, no, you're not this 6'8" athletic freak. That's not, no. So it's just being able to put things in perspective to where they realize, like, they have responsibility for whatever happens. So I don't feel that much pressure. If I do, it's just what I put on myself. But for the most part, no, not for real.
I feel that, because, like you said, it's still on the player at a certain point. And like you said, you ain't the only kid I'm training. So if I'm training multiple kids and multiple kids are progressing and you are not, then I need you to take some of that blame, because obviously my methods ain't that flawed if I'm the only one or one of the few that hasn't progressed. So yeah, I definitely feel that. That makes total sense. Yeah, you better than me though, because I about would have said it. Like, well, I ain't gonna say I would have said it, but like, if a kid or a parent ever like approached me in that way, like, hey, my son and my daughter ain't getting no better. Like, what I'm paying you this money for if they ain't getting better? I'd have been like, hey, I got other kids that is getting better. You asking your son or your daughter. But that's just me though. That probably ain't. That's probably why I ain't no trainer. But whatever.
And luckily, I ain't never had that problem. I mean, I'm still fairly young in my career and everything too, but I haven't had that problem. Like, one of two things have always happened for me. So either I figure out little tricks and methods to where it's like, I'm not gonna have that problem. So either one or two things, I'm either gonna get the kid to love me so much to where the long-term plan is bought in, or if I see it's a short-term thing, I'm finna cheat a little bit and get short-term results. It just depends on the situation. So if I'm trying to get you for a long-term deal, then I'm locking in to where, all right, you love me and I get something, like, you hooked me for, I taught you something or whatever. A lot of times I had it where parents like, yo, I've never seen my kid open up like that. I never seen them act like this. Like, I had one dude talking trash to me like crazy one session. And the mom was like, oh, I've never seen him talk trash like that before on the floor. I'm like, got him. You feel me? So, so that bought into where now I know long term we're okay. So I can take the long route and some of that pressure is taken off, and he's bought into where it's like, whatever I say, he's going to do it, or at least look at it strongly to where when we have those tough conversations, it's a little bit easier. And so the short-term people, sometimes they come in for the summer. They want to, hey, my kid got tried in 3 months. I'm like, yo, this is the worst time to do this, because there's a reason why there's a reason why he didn't make the team last year. He's trying to get it in 3 months. Like, that's not how this works, especially talking about varsity. Like, that's not how it's worked. So, nah. So, I felt a little pressure with that, but like when I had a dude couldn't even make a left hand layup, I'm like,
tried in 3 months, huh?
oh man. But he ended up making the team though. The mom texted me later, like, oh, he made the team. I'm like, oh, that was up. I'm happy for him. You know, good.
Team must not be that good. Gonna be a rough year for such and such high.
Man, boy, when I tell you, she tell you, I was surprised. You're like, oh, he made the team. He's like this, that, and third. Oh, cool. That was good.
Oh man.
That's funny,
bro.
So back to you, man. With your pressure, do you feel it's another level of pressure between JUCO and D2 as far as like the weight you feel in your shoulders? Like, when, you know, like I always said before, like, we need to stop, we're looking at you. Do you feel a different level of pressure from JUCO to now?
Yes, most definitely. Yes. And so the reason why that is because, like, just being real, JUCO was easier. It was like, every game in JUCO, knowing my talents and abilities and know-how, you know, I knew every game. Like, I had what it takes. I knew what to do. I know, like, whoever step on this floor, I'm good. Every game. Yeah, you know, I got here. My confidence was just up at JUCO because I knew I had what it takes, especially after my freshman year. Like, my freshman year, like, I felt a lot of pressure because I was like, I don't know how good everybody is. I don't know how tough this level gonna be. And then my first game, we played a JV NAIA team, NAIA JV team. We beat them by 20-some, and I had 16 and 12. And so then instantly I'm like, oh, this it, then, you feel me? I'm good. Like, I got it. But, you know, I quickly realized that it was not going to be that easy every night. But after my freshman year, I was a starter from day one, or like from game one. I'm like, every game I came out there, like, I knew what was going on. I knew what to do. I got my game plan. I got my scout. I knew I could I just trusted my abilities. So I'm good. But when I got here and I got to, you know, practicing with these guys on a higher level, quickly realized that it was a higher level. Naturally, I guess my confidence just got shook a little bit. And I was like, man, like, every night I don't got what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying I don't have what it takes. That's probably a bad choice of words. But every night I didn't just know I was gonna be good with my matchup. Like, I didn't know we was gonna be good with whatever team we played. Cause I'll never forget the first game we played. So my first season here, it was, you know, 2020 COVID year. So it was the 2020-2021 season. And so with COVID going on, we didn't start playing until January. I didn't practice for 4 months from August to January, practicing, no games. Some scrimmages thrown in there, you know what I'm saying? But just practice. So I don't know what it's like to be on this level. But I know early on, my teammates, who was a tournament, all PBC tournament player in Hunter Preston, and a D1 transfer in Tree Thomas. His name David, we call him Tree. That, like, them was who I was going against every day, because they were the other two post players. For a while in them practices, they were tearing me up, and can't lie, they were busting my head. And I ain't ashamed to admit that, because it's part of, you know, my development. But early on, when I first got up here, they were busting my head every day. I'm a defensive player, so you know that was hurting me. I was out here like, what's going on? Like, like ain't no way I'm getting killed like this every day. Yeah. And then sometimes you know how it is when you play somebody, like they got it going, you know, they hot or whatever. They make some BS, and you just like what could I even do about that? Like, it just makes me even more mad. That was the type of stuff that was happening to me. So, like, that's when the pressure hit me. I'm like, man, like, I got to improve. Like, it don't matter what happened. I'll be doggone. I sit here and get towed up every day. So, as the season went on, I got better and better. You could tell. And my first game of the season, we played a team we played a good team in a school called UNC Pembroke. Good team. They had a big who was like an all-conference player. Swole guy, about 6'5", but swole and played hard. He was like a equivalent to him. Like, I don't even know. He just was super strong, not very athletic. Like, he ain't doing a whole lot athletic-wise, but strong and very physical. Like, he was gonna go there with anybody. Like, he didn't care. He bump you like he'll make a post move, bang, move. Like, he was that type of player. Rebounds, he running into you for like everything. Big body dude. That was my first game in the league. And it woke me up. I was like, dang, like, is this what we playing against? Like, is this gonna be every night?
Yeah.
But as the season went on, I improved. Over the summertime and the off season, I improved on this year. So now it's a little less pressure because just like my freshman year, I know what to expect. I know I've improved. I know it ain't the same. So now I walk into the games kind of similarly. Like, I know I got what it takes. Every game I walk in here like, hey, I don't care who step out here, whether he's 6'5", 7 foot, 300 pounds. I done played everything in between. Now it's like, hey, whoever set foot out here, I got my scout. I got my game plan. I'm good. I'm ready. Like, I know I got me. I bet on me every trip. So it's less pressure now at this point, but there definitely was more pressure now, like here than it was in JUCO. Because, like I said, my first JUCO game, 12. D2 game, 4 points, like 3 rebounds, played like 17 minutes. Big dude that I was not ready to play. Like, it was a culture shock almost. I was like, man, like, this the league. And they bust our head too. Like, we lost that game by 20-something. Dog. We practiced from August to January for this. Smack. It just was it was just very different. My wake-up call in JUCO, my wake-up call in D2 is very different. So naturally, the pressure that came with both is very different in itself. So, yeah, I say all that to say yes. Pressure on this level was a lot higher than it was on the last one.
Did that shake you a lot? Like, did you like, dang, am I D2 worried? Like, did that shake your confidence enough to where you were like, did you feel like you made the wrong decision? Or it's just like, you know, like, did you feel like you were just like, you want to build for D2 at that point?
No. Never was my confidence. I'm the type of person to step up to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never gonna back down for no challenge. Like, so yeah, you know, we got our head bust open, you know, and like my matchup got the best of me, whatever. I understood that, but I'm the type of person I can take my L. Like, I can take an L like a champ. Like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take this one on the chin. I'm good for that. Like, this ain't the first time, you know, we done been blew out. This ain't the first time my matchup got the best of me. I can take mine on the chin. I know when I'm beat. You know what I'm saying? And so, the thing about me that I feel like everybody don't have, like athletes at least. One thing about me that I feel like everybody don't have is when I take my L's, I go home and I think about it. I think about why this can't happen like that, or why was it this way. I won't just be mad about it, because some guys, you know, they take that L and they mad. They like sick. And I ain't saying I'd be happy, but they just be angry, like, man, no, bro, F this, and we supposed to win this. And what I'm saying? Like, they just be mad. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm upset. Like, I hate that we lost, or I hate that my Metro got the best of me. But at the end of the day, I go home and I lay in my bed and I say, okay, like, why did this happen? I remember he did this and this and this. And that got me like, why did, like what was I thinking? What was I trying to do? What should I have done? I'm about correcting my mistakes, because one thing about me, my coach all the time, he fun it, like, and it's funny because he messed with me. But one thing about me is he's not gonna talk crazy to me. Like, if a guy get the best of me, I take that personally. Even if the team beat us, you feel me? I'm mad about the loss. I want to win more than anything. But if my matchup get the best of me, one thing you ain't finna do is talk crazy to me, like I ain't just, you feel me, like I don't belong here. So that's the type of attitude I got about it. Somebody get the best of me, guess what? You gonna see me again in the block. And I need mine at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I approach the game. And I feel like that's probably the best way to approach it. Like, I ain't gonna say the best way. I don't know what the best way is, but that worked for me. Knowing that, okay, yeah, he got the best of me, but he gonna come back around, and I'm gonna get mine off the back end. Best believe that. That's just how I get down. That's how I see it. Like if he get the better of me once, you don't want to play me twice. I'm not going.
That's a good mindset to have too, man. Because I know a lot of times we get so fixated on what happened without really getting more strategic on the reaction to it. Like you said, you take a loss, right? And people are like, dang, man, they got me, man. Whatever. You just get mad and frustrated, which is cool, which is actually somewhat good. But they don't take that next step. And it's like, dang, okay, what happened? Why did this happen? My biggest thing is always figuring out why. Like, that's probably my favorite thing to like dissect and think about sometimes. It's like, why and how? Like, why did this happen? Why did that happen? How did he get there? Like, how did he think to get that thing? Like, whatever. Like, dissecting between those two questions is like how you really get to the root of stuff. And it's like the fact that you didn't back down from that challenge and, take that L and, swallow under it. Just like, like they say, pressure can burst pipes and make diamonds, which I wonder if we can come up with a new one, because I'm kind of tired of that. But
I like that one. I like that one.
I like it, but at the same time, I was like, bro, I'm kind of tired of hearing it. But maybe it's just me, because I hear too much motivational and mindset stuff. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. But like you said, pressure can make diamonds or burst pipes. So it's like, when you get smacked in the face, bro, that's pressure. Like, how do you respond is the most important thing to it. So that's mental toughness for you, bro, that you're able to take the L. Like, you ain't just punk about it, like, dang, man, we shouldn't have lost to this, that, and the third. Like, no, okay, we did lose. Why? Like, so from there, it's just like, now you can actually get to an answer and like get to the next step, to where it's like, all right, cool. Like you said, when we come back around, I know what's up. And like, even if you're not ready, you get busted again. Okay, cool. Let's plan C.
You gonna see me in the tournament, or I'm gonna see you next year.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, all right, you got me, bro. All right. Let's run the offseason. Something. I'm finna get this win, bro. Like, everybody don't have that mindset. That's the competitive mindset that everybody don't have. So it's like you embrace that pressure and that challenge versus running from it. So that's dope, man. I respect that for sure.
Bro, like you not finna, like I feel like that's a special to be able to accept your losses. Like, you gotta be, because you gonna lose sometimes. Somebody with the better of you. Accept that. Take it on the chin. Like, okay, we lost. Like, and that's not saying be satisfied with losing, but like, so I give you a case in point. So the other day, when this is being recorded, we lost to Augusta on the road, Augusta University on the road.